Happy Easter, Laramie. It's April 5th, Easter Sunday. 2 days before City Council meets and looks to declare whether they support a blighted area designation or whether they oppose a blighted area designation. And this area, as of December 18th, the public was informed by the City of Laramie staff that in this proposed designation area, 2 complexes, likely 42 apartments each, with senior housing and lower income housing designation, was planned to be sited here. The city staff leadership openly acknowledged that their intent on increasing the doors, any doors, anywhere, so long as it provided a home for somebody to live in Laramie. Now, as I consider this undeveloped land area, and I'm at the property's edge to Snowy Range Road itself, with my back to it, looking south and west to the Territorial Prison State Historic Site, which is just beyond the Laramie River, I ask myself, what's going to happen when at least 84 apartments are located right here at River's Edge? What protection will our aquifer receive? What protection will be implemented here that couldn't have been implemented up by Jacoby Golf Course towards the summit when the aquifer was such a concern there? This is immediately exposed water area, and with 84 apartment units, you're looking at 100 to 164 required parking spaces, unless we change the rules for yet again another entity different than other builders, different than other citizens with property projects, both those that have accommodated and built in the city and those that they decided not to. They went to the county, or they just didn't come to our county at all. Tuesday night's meeting is at 6:30 p.m. and it's set generally by ordinary rules to go till 9:30. You can expect that it'll be the last item on the agenda. Hopefully, if you have the ability, you can write an email, whether you are for or whether you are against this area being determined as blighted, as recommended by the Urban Renewal Agency, or being considered by them. And you might also write that email to council@cityoflaramie.org I'll put the actual address in the body of this comment section for this video, but I hope you'll speak up. I sincerely do. I'm concerned that if this space is occupied by at least 84 apartments, highly dense residential living spaces, why are we permitting this danger that undoubtedly will put pressure on the wildlife corridor here, undoubtedly unnecessarily threaten pollution to our waterway, and undoubtedly will add pressure to already concerning flooding in West Side Historic District? Because even if you put backflow valves and you engineer this, it's arguable whether those work. And it's decades of experience knowing, living in the West Side Historic District, that when the water table elevates in the river, when the river rises, the water table throughout the West Side Historic neighborhood, it elevates too, it rises too, which promotes underground flooding, potentially in basements of West Side. A blight area designation, as I understand it, will permit tax incremental financing, citizen subsidy of development of this area. Denying blight will probably mean that developers would have to develop this entirely 100% on their own financing ability. How many communities have a natural tourist attraction right inside their city limits? You have the Union Pacific Railroad towards the summit. That's historic. Those rail lines have been here since the founding of Laramie. And inside of the rail lines, as you go west, you have the West Side Historic neighborhood. Each of those homes essentially are Laramie's most affordable housing types. And they're exactly in the core, the most highly desired of the 97% deemed by Thrive studies, the Thrive housing studies. Those houses, single-family homes, represent the core of what those surveyed in Laramie want. Not the 3%. Only 3% surveyed in that Thrive study wanted dense, multi-unit apartment housing. But perhaps the matter receives a lot of citizen input. This Tuesday, for or against this natural undeveloped area being termed blighted. Now, amidst this area, which is mapped by city resources, it's noted that it's a flood area, a floodplain, and there are varied degrees of it. But one of the concerning pieces is, as you would follow, as I read the map, as you would follow from the territorial prison State Historic Site, and you would proceed straight towards me through this area and along Snowy Range Road towards Bernie's Mexican Restaurant. If you drew a straight line from the Territorial Prison State Historic Site to Bernie's Mexican Restaurant on Cedar Street at Clark, what was the Clark Street Viaduct, you would have a line that would cross a brownfield area as well. Now, I looked for the hyperlink that was available on the housing presentation by the City of Laramie staff to council, and that hyperlink doesn't take you anywhere. Now, whether by mistake or by intention, it's impossible without access to find out what details exist in the brownfield designation impacting this entire decision. Also absent in the city's work is a wildlife impact study. What will happen to wildlife? How many species will be displaced? How many deer, raccoon, ducks, fish, Wyoming toads, protected species, might be impacted by such a development? This area has existed for 150 years, Laramie. Do you support that changing in this fashion? Or might we enhance what exists? The green belt walkway just beyond the river, in between here and the Territorial Prison State Historic Site. It's an election year, and I hope you'll take into account who listens and who doesn't in the coming opportunities to vote. There's a special election May 5th, and that's on a penny tax initiative where direct spending decisions come right into play. What do you have to say? I appreciate your involvement. I welcome you all to the talk shop. And I welcome you all Tuesday night, especially April 7th, 6:30 p.m. to 406 Ivinson Avenue, where you might give input and duly influence our elected leaders. 9 city council members elected by all of us in Albany County and the city of Laramie. 9 city council members elected by Ward 1, Ward 2, and Ward 3 citizens. This matter at hand is in Ward 2. Ward 2 elected officials Melanie Vigil, Jim Freed, and Brandon Newman. Will they speak for the West Side Historic District neighbors? As the West Side spoke to them March 26th, 2026, we can hope. Happy Easter, everybody. Enjoy your families.